Hey, welcome back folks. Thanks again for tuning in to follow my progress. As you can see, I'm out here in my bee yard, and today is a fantastic day to take a look at these two Nucleus colonies. I did a removal from a nightstand. And I also did a removal from an exposed colony that was up in a tree. Both of those colonies are still in the same 5-frame Nucleus box that I put them in, and I haven't opened them since I removed them. And I'm just going to go ahead and do the first initial inspection. You'll see I'm wearing my protection. I do wear a ventilated jacket. This one is from Brushy Mountain. I'm using 5mm nitrile gloves. The reason why I'm using these nitrile type of gloves is because in my experience, I found that the material masks the scent of my skin, and it also covers the hairs on my fingers. Once the bees get a little more docile and used to being inspected, I'll go gloveless, but in this case, I'm wearing my gloves, and obviously I'm gonna have my smoker lit. Enough rambling. Hope you enjoy, and thanks again for tuning in. All right, so you see here is the colony that was in the exposed tree. So I have a 10-frame. You'll see I just got a couple of blocks of wood to reduce their entrance, to keep it about the same size. And you'll see here I got 5 frames, because I'm assuming I have all 5 frames in this box that I can remember. But these frames here, they're deep sizes. I have these strung with fishing string, and the reason why I use fishing string is it helps me in the hot summer months here in Florida. If I inspect a frame, if I pull a frame out that has wax on it and I tilt it, that wax comb is less likely to bow when there's fishing string in the middle. What I need to do is I need to peel off this tape, because I had the tape sealing the box shut. I'll take the weight off, check my smoker to make sure it's still lit, which it is. I haven't put any smoke on the bees directly yet. What I want to do is, this cover has a cleat on the outside. I want to see if I can gently crack the cover. So what I'll do is I'll just put my hive tool here and just pry up gently. Do the same thing here. I'm just going to put my hive tool underneath like that. Pry open the lid. Oh yeah, she's full of bees. Okay, so I'm being very gentle here, making sure our queen is not on the cover. If somebody finds the queen, go ahead and post the timestamp in the comments below, and maybe I'll send you a coupon for a free ice cream. And this is the nuke that we're working with. And you'll see how the bees are not flying up at me. So these bees have a really great demeanor. This is fantastic. If I touch lightly here, the bees move out of the way. It's probably 80 degrees right now. It's in the early afternoon. Perfect day. It's not windy. It's not expecting to storm. So let's get moving on here, because I got to check another nuke. What I'm going to do gently is I'm going to try to get some space. I think I'm going to try working with this outside frame here. I'll try moving the bees back. Now to do that, I'm going to use the other end of this hive tool. You'll see how one end is flat, and then this end here, if you wiggle the tool like that, that'll let the bees, you know, get out of the way. And then I'm gently gonna see if I can't move the frames back. See, so I kind of created a little bit of a space there. Likewise here, you see these frames aren't pushed together fully. That's a big error on my part. You want the frames to be pressed completely together if you can help it. So I'm just going to gently and I think that's a honey frame. So here's where I have to set the tripod up. Okay, so essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to take the frame out here from the side. Now, there's another tool. These are called frame grips. Basically for more leverage, I might use these also, but first I want to gently blow some smoke. Ideally, I want the bees away from the end bars. And I want to remove the burr comb. There's wax comb on the top. You know what that is? That's a rubber band. I have rubber band comb here. So that was the top of a rubber band. I'm trying to move somewhat fast, but somewhat slow. I don't want to smush the bees. When you start smushing bees, that's when they release a chemical pheromone. And a smush bee can indicate to the rest of the colony attack. So I'm being very gentle to move slow. I want to get a good grip on my frame grip. Here it comes. Okay, so there's comb that's getting ripped. It stopped because I saw a comb that was starting to rip apart, so it's possible that there's cross combing. Again, blow smoke. This time we're going to try the opposite side. Trying my best here. Coming out. Okay, so in summary, this didn't work out as planned. There's too much cross combing going on, so I'm gonna have to come back and revisit that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put an empty box. It just so happens I have another 5-frame size box that'll fit on top of here, so I'm gonna smoke the bees, get them to move down, and then I'll put an empty box with these frames inside of them. So let's see how that goes. See, the bees are heavily bearding because, again, that's probably because I disrupted them a bit. Really hoping in that process I didn't smush the queen. I probably should have approached it with a long knife and then just cut. My thought process here is that the bees will move up, and I'll diligently inspect this top box to make sure there's no cross combing. And then once the bees move up, hopefully the queen will move up. Once I see the queen, then I can safely and confidently transfer her into the 10 frame and then deal with all the comb later on. So let's go ahead and take a peek at this one. Because again, this one came from the nightstand. So let's see if there's cross combing going on in here. Good number of bees on the lid. Full 5 seams. This is just like the other one. Fully packed. The bees are very docile. They're not jumping out. I can already see cross combing here at the top between these 2 frames. See, when I say cross combing, this is what I mean. Can you see here? See how that? You see how that honeycomb cross combs? When you can keep on top of your bees and check them every, week or so, frequently, you can stop them from making that. But what they did is they created comb that goes across these 2 frames. So now if I try to lift this frame out, it's going to tear in its 2 frames. See how that piece of honeycomb right there? See how that's bowing between? And how that's bowing between? So my options at this point, I think, are either to get a long serrated knife and cut the comb and pull the frames out. That's option 1. Or option 2 is what I just did on the previous nuke. I can put a box on the top, wait a while for the bees to move up, and then transfer them that way. I just don't know where the queen is, and if I start ripping comb and the honey is dripping down all over the place, it's so easy to squish a queen, and then all of a sudden you have a really strong colony is queenless. Who knows if there's any young eggs or space in there, but I gotta do something here fairly soon so they have enough space. I do have a medium size nucleus body I can put on top of them if I wanted, just to let them start to draw that. So that's what I think I'll do, but I gotta go get more frames ready. So that's all, folks. Hope you enjoy following with my progress. Nothing is easy as it seems, and this is real life beekeeping. I don't frequently keep up on my hives enough. I'm always behind and not ahead. So it's really important that I try to pull these frames out as cleanly as possible and put them into a bigger box so the bees can expand. So stay tuned for that video, and hopefully that'll be soon.